At Focus on Liberia, we discuss everything Liberia, from education to politics, arts and culture, entertainment, agriculture, history, religion, family, and technology. Focus on Liberia uncovers and showcases the best of Liberia and shows the world the truth about Liberia. We educate, elevate, and promote all things Liberia. We conduct interviews, panel discussions, debates, and more. Tune in to Focus on Liberia on Facebook and YouTube and be a part of the stories that make up the news.
This is Focus on Liberia, and I am Dennis Jack.
For our citizens in the county, and most of them, and not all of them from Buffalo, people come from all over Liberia to go to Buffalo County to hustle. And when this happens, this displacement creates a lot of stress for these citizens and also for us, their lawmakers. As a matter of fact, I wrote the ministry a few days ago in a case in this category. As Minister of Mines, if we nominate you, how do you plan to address this issue to balance the implementation of the law with humanistic consideration for our own citizens who need to go somewhere else, in search of livelihood? Are there laws on the books for some compensation to them or some flexibility to give them new licenses in areas that are not covered by these Class B or Class A exploration licenses? That's my first question. My second question has to do with the environment. I come from the wastewater belt, the mining belt, and as I speak to you, I don't want to be too dramatic to send you the video of the river. The major river there, called the Ginger River, is polluted. It has been polluted since perhaps July. We've done everything in our power to address this situation. I think 2 people have died, allegedly from the pollution. 2 children of the swimming there. The water looks like milk. And I'm sure this is not an isolated case. It's the same situation across the country. What kind of enforcement mechanism will you put in place to allow environmentally sensitive mining operations to happen so that our people's major sources of water for drinking and washing their clothes and so on cannot be polluted as we see in that part of Liberia? And then finally, Western Liberia, we've started a pilot which we believe if we succeed, or when we succeed, it could be, something that other regions will emulate, which is to come together, all 3 countries coming together as a region, to pool our resources to support the development agenda that we have put together, which is aligned with the AAID, Paris agenda that we talk about in your speeches. And so we want to do a regional university in Tokontra. We want to turn Emirates Hospital as a regional referral hospital for the region for our citizens. Then we want to see how Cape Mount, Robertsport becomes a tourism center. But resource mobilization is a problem. And our regions of mining region, with our companies that Beyond Mountains, Western Culture, Biochico, I can go on, and all of these licenses we are giving to people to explore over there. We have a revenue law that allocates a portion of the proceeds from natural resources across this country that goes to the county where the resource is coming from, and then to 15 counties, the central government, and then a percentage of what goes to the county goes to the affected community. It's on the books.
Yeah.
As minister, since I have been here 2 years, I don't recall any amount, but all the time we're taking in Baku, we will ask questions, where's our revenue, and it put us in the loop. Let's say you are Minister Tingban tomorrow. How can you help my citizens, our region, 3 counties, to get their fair share of revenue that is coming from their region for their development? Those are my 3 questions. Thank you.
Our Senator, well, firstly, we have laws in this country that govern the mineral sector. And the law must be scrupulously implemented. And that's why it's wonderful. The influence of Class B should not in any way affect citizens to displace them. Because in applying for the Class B, firstly, before you are qualified to become a Class B holder, you first will have to do your environmental impact study. That impact study gives the Environmental Protection Agency to give you a certificate that you are qualified and you're going to be environmentally compliant. You will abide by the environmental laws. Even with respect to land degradation, there must be, at the Ministry of Mines, there must be a mine closure plan. Those mine closure plans should be in the interest of the citizen. Then after your money, that it will not be affected, like how you have always say, quote unquote, bombing holes. You know, these are strategic issues, but all our laws are weak to the citizens. And that's why we intend to do a review of these conceptions and know what the issues are, get to the community and know exactly what the issues are. When we are confirmed, these are some of our priorities because there is meets and bounds. In our laws, our mineral and mining laws of 2000, since that they have restricted areas, even they have traditional shrines, that mining activities should not go there. This is the reason why we make sure that indeed there is an assessment by the mining agency to give you a clearance that the issue indeed, the area indeed is fair or private. So when we get there, if these things are happening, we're going to study them and make sure we take the corrective measure as a law. And the issue of pollution, as I just said, you have EPA. When you are giving the environmental permit, it's a clear indication that you have EMP, Environmental Management Plan, that will make sure that mitigation is to the letter, so that they can be, because the reason why you conduct the environmental impact assessment is to develop an environmental management plan, so that you cannot degrade the environment. So those issues are issues because all the laws are on the book, but they are violators. It is our responsibility to have a robust thing that there is a compliance. And when it comes to the fair share, because mineral development agreements are passed in the House, and the first time I saw actually a social development fund that started from Aslamita, where we got to know about social development funds. And the immediate affected community, portion is allocated for the immediate affected communities, so that those social issues, those environmental issues can be addressed, as per what is on the board. So, if confirmed, we want to make sure that there is a compliant issue, because mineral is finite, and after that, our citizens got nothing. So there must be something to positively impact the life, even between doing the money and after money.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just to say that, thank you for your answer. I just would like to close to say that this is very important to us. We depend on our natural resources to develop our region, our people. We have an ambitious agenda, and to raise money to do that, and we'll be counting on you as a partner at the ministry to help enforce that revenue component of the law on our people's behalf. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. So, there are more senators in here for the hearing, and so please take at least 5 minutes.
Some big areas.
At least 5 minutes. No. You have to make 5 minutes.
It's a big sector, so we don't have to read it. Okay, do one and then
We'll ask them to Senator now, please take
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you. Again, to the nominees, for those of you, I'm Senator Twine from Tingban County, one of the natural resource endowed counties in that area. That's why I pride myself to be the lead campaigner for concession compliance. We'll have a hearing coming up. So that's why I think the chairman is giving us the floor to speak briefly before we go on the hearing. I will begin by saying the three of you qualification and experience in the sector, they are unmatched. So the issue here will not be from me upon your qualification. You serve in several positions, Mr. Minister. I haven't seen any, red tape or any kinds of malfeasance on your record publicly. You serve as a representative as well for my county. And the two gentlemen over there also, I must say that the both of you are Australian scholars. Yeah, and I come now, I'm an Australian scholar too. So, yes, definitely, and I know fully well how much, you guys are credible when it comes to that. But Minister Tingban, I look across the hall since this morning, I see a lot of new minds. Many of them, the elders, the chiefs, came from all corners of Tingban to support. I see some former government officials of Tingban. Let me say this to you. They are not here because you are Honorable Matenokay or you are the brightest son of Tingban. They are here because they need answers to the questions to their resources. They feel that at least, one of their sons, is stepping away and another one is coming in. And this is personal. The issue with ArcelorMittal and other companies in Tingban County cannot be overemphasized. And this is not the forum for you because we have been heard about it. I will not be scrutinizing you based upon what, you bring to the table. I will be scrutinizing you upon what will you do. Because many of these speeches are brilliant. We will bring about, we will digitize the system. We will bring about state-of-the-art equipment. We will make sure there will be full compliance. Our major problem here on Tingban, before I close, in the mining sector is non-compliance of concession agreements. Non-compliance. And I don't know how it is done with the IMCC. Welcome to the IMCC. I have a problem with the IMCC, with the members of the IMCC. Because if they do their work adequately, we will not be sitting here complaining about mining companies. Because the reports that you people bring to us to ratify are clear with stipulation and timelines. How is it that nobody follows up to ensure that these things, are done by the mining companies? And then we bring the IMCC here, and then they sit here and look at the concession there and complain, say, no, they have not done this. Have you done this? No, they have not done this. In as much as many of us are very strong on the concession there and the companies, but I actually feel sorry for them. It's like you put a little child in the field to work, and the supervisor does not tell them where to start from. The companies are not supervised. And these things have to come to an end. And I'm calling on my colleagues here, to see the good in the three of you. You are astute, you've been in the sector before, you play your oversight role here as a former lawmaker, and I have, no doubt that you people will not make us shame and do not make the people of Lima who come here with the answer for their resources do not make them shame. I yield, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, thank you. My colleague said that, and obviously, if I was only voted to there for the reason very simple, I vote to hold it by the center of the body, not today. Not today. Because we see story here, we confirm Minister Woboping right here with the same speech. With the same speech. But the election mind still continuing. People are issued a license for class B, class A and C, and class B. People are issued license for class B in different locations, and they are 4 for Bapolo, they are in Riverview County. Yes. And our chiefs, our elders, okay, and our young people are aiding and abetting illicit mining. That's a fact. We must say it here. But tomorrow the people are responsible as lawmaker when they are the same people who are encouraging the people. So I just want to know, Honorable Minister, as a former representative, you know what I'm talking about, okay? And you being with Mission Internal Affairs, you know what I'm talking about. So I think I use your expertise to make sure that our people are accountable, not just only the business people, because they are the ones knowing fully well that indeed the action of the people will damage the water that they drink and they accept it. And that's the concern there. And my last question is, I want you to investigate toxic mining. Since 2019, this legislature passed on the concession of Eastern Target and Western Target. The previous minister of Murray have been asked the question over again, where is toxic mining? Toxic mining should have paid up to $6 million to this country for the passage of that concession. In 2019, Western Target in Guernsey, Buffalo, and Eastern Target in Guernsey. Thank you.
Senator Cyrus.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for this opportunity. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, nominees. When I was introduced here as chair of the National Security Committee, my first question is, did you bring the drug test result? Because I would have liked to enter government without taking a drug test. Have you guys taken a drug test?
Yes, sir.
Oh, you are asked. Then you put it as
Have you guys taken a drug test? Your nominees, have you taken a drug test?
Honorable Senator, though I haven't worked near drugs before, I don't know how it looks. I'm yet to do a drug test, but I haven't done it. Have I known that it was a requirement here, we would have done it.
Honorable Senator, similarly, I've not done a drug test. I haven't gone near drugs since, but if it's a requirement,
Nominee is a yes or no question. Have you done the drug test?
no.
Honorable Senator, I have not done a drug test.
So my second question has to do with issue of illicit mining. I have an experience. I come from Local County. I think from my research, I still to be corrected, we have the last reserve in Liberia, the Rosy Mountain. I still to be corrected. That might be the last reserve that Liberia has. Still to be corrected.
Which one?
The Rosy Mountain.
How you know?
I said it might be the last. And so, said Rosy is very important. And I've overheard other counties complaining like Tingban. Are we putting the necessary mechanism, laws, procedures together so that we will have any problem just tomorrow in case we want to mine Rosie? I'm speaking against the background of the complaints I hear from Tingban. If for any instance as a government want to mine Robizi tomorrow, my question as a senator speaking for the people of Lofa County, hearing me on camera, can you assure me that under your administration, if we have to mine Robizi, will you have a situation we have in Lima today?
Our chairman and distinguished member of this committee. There is always a saying that experience is the best teacher. The first NDA with respect to ArcelorMittal was not a perfect one. There are a lot of bad clauses that were in there, and therefore there was room for them to improve on that. And there was a second amendment to that to improve what was not placed in the previous agreement. Now the third amendment is wrong. It should be better than the second amendment. So based on these experiences we have had with respect to honor representation at the table, I think we now have sufficient experience that when it comes to the table, we do the needful to put in there what benefits the country so that we can continue with this kind of pride all of the time to victimize our people with respect to mineral exploitation in this country. And of the stronger condition, we confirm we are going to keenly look at these things and put measures in place that indeed the mineral resources in this country is intended to better the life of our people, to ensure economic growth, to ensure infrastructure development of our country, so we can make a better team.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This will be my last question, and I will give. Honorable nominees, today, as we speak, we have pulled on 3 concessions, mining concessions, in the Vonjama district from which I come from. I'm not a senator, but I come from the mining district. We see the Chinese entering the forest and having meetings with the townships and community people and see them, working at all established. Is that a process? Are you people contacting the lawmakers for other decision makers in the county before giving these lessons to these Chinese?
Honorable Senator, firstly, with respect to mineral governance of this country, the statutory law that established the Ministry of Mines actually gave it the responsibility to issue licenses. And all the processes start at the Ministry of Mines. Anything contrary to that to start from the local community is outside of the law. It should not be permitted. I had an experience with, and I spoke to someone in recent time, said they had a social agreement with the community before coming to the Ministry of Mines to obtain a blessing. I said that was counterproductive with respect to our laws on the border. The process starts at the ministry. It is a ministry that has a statutory responsibility to assess, because there is a system at the mining cadastre called FIFA, first in, first assess. And if you are qualified before you can venture, if you are issued a lesson before you go to the community to sign a social agreement with them. So you cannot go and start in there. We are the one that should be sending you into the field with communication to the county authority to make sure that, yes, this is the purpose you're coming from. Other than that, anybody who is coming into that to go into the duties is against the law. And I can assure you if confirmed, because even the proliferation of the excavator in the field without any authorization, where people just go and dig ore and degrade the land, we're going to do the boss about that. And it's good that I saw the portion of the law that back us if we catch you in illicit manner. We have that right. We're not seeking for warrants. We go straight into the room and confiscate that. The law backs up, and the Constitution backs up for that.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for giving the opportunity to you.
Thank you. And Delon.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Dominic, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
I must divulge that I know the nominee for Minister of Mines, Tingban. I've known him for years. So let me make that disclosure. I would like to say something. I look in a compound, the place is crowded with supporters. I look in the gallery, I'm sure everybody wants us to, in fact, already pledged our commitment to confront it. And so if we ask questions, some people will bomb up. And see, I know that. When we just pass you, and you're not doing that right, they can remember that the war teachers will come here to support you and say, "Oh, pass you." They will say, "And I will confine you." They can say that. And so I am almost never afraid to do my work. My role is to ask a question. So when I confirm you, your answer today, that what we'll use tomorrow to determine your performance and question. Have you read the mineral law of Nigeria? Question.
Yes, I've read the mineral law of Liberia.
As it is, from your reading, do you think that law needs some reform to bring us up to current reality? Question.
Indeed, Senator, because, you know, as I earlier stated that.
Honorable nominee, when you have a yes or no question, you answer yes or no.
Yes, we have the intention to review.
Only provision of the mineral law you read, and you have intention for us to review, to amend or repeal, so as to bring us up to speed with current reality.
Minister, sorry, Senator. Senator, there are a lot of provisions in there that I may not remember. And as we seek confirmation, all of those ones, I may not remember them again. Outline and send it to you as these are things that we want to do.
You didn't come with an example, for instance. If you read the law, you know that some require to be reviewed in keeping with your vision, and you want to take that out of how to implement the law and what will impair your ability to implement the law in terms of current reality. We will bring our involvement as legislative body
Let me show you an example. In the mineral and mining laws, if you go to section 4.2, that talks about person or individual not eligible for mineral rights, the foreign producers are there. One of the aspects that I really claim my attention is this, with respect to this issue of the Class B.
Class B lessons.
Class B lessons.
That's fine.
It reads, with respect to Class B mining license, an individual who is not a citizen of Liberia unless legally permitted to be a resident of Liberia or seek employment in Liberia, or a person other than an individual, unless individuals who are citizens of Liberia own and control at least 60% of the equity of voting power in such a person, or are entitled to receive at least 60% of such a person, not net profit or distributable income. Now, this is why it says, there's a complication. When a foreign national comes into this country, once that person has a resident permit or a work permit, that foreign national can go strictly into Class B and 100% without establishing a company. But that same person, if they have resident permit, can go off by themselves and get 100%. But if they establish a company, they can get a Liberian 60%. So, if the person has that opportunity as an individual, once you have a resident permit or work permit, you can go straight there and have 100%. Why would that person establish a company? That person will not establish a company. So why would they? So in there,
I'm asking these questions so as to help inform some of our reform agenda for the country. Class B lesson, the intent of it was to empower Liberians, correct?
And the law is not saying that to empower Liberians. It gives opportunity to foreigners.
No, you were lawmaker or not all of us.
This particular money agreement, that's 2080, 2000 dollars.
You were
So I was not there.
Okay, but you were lawmaker when you were on the board.
Of course.
You did not review it. You go into Lands and Mines Ministry now, Mines Ministry, should we confirm you with that kind of law step on the book? The intent of the law was for Class B mining license to be the source of empowerment of Liberians. And if there would be a foreign intervention, Liberian must own more than 50% share. Correct?
No, it doesn't go straight like that.
No, but you're not getting my point. The intent of the law, but the way the law is structured, that is why people bypassing it.
Okay.
I'm asking you, when we come back to the original intent, then we can amend that provision to bring it back to the original intent.
Okay.
So there can be room for bypass.
Okay.
Now you are a civil engineer, mining engineer. That law on the book, and the way it's scripted and written, is that in tune with the original intent of the framework of that law? Should we make you minister? Do you think that provision of that law needs reform so that we can come back to the original intent so that Liberians will have ownership of that class?
I want to say yes, there should be review to change it to suit the Liberian situation.
So if I give you my vote, will you coordinate or cooperate with my office or through the committee, the Senate committee, for us to make that one of the first priorities?
Yes.
You honor oath
You know that the very position where you at the very position where
Right. Okay, so I just want us to be on the same page. I got two more questions now. I got two more questions. Mr. Nominee.
Yes, sir.
We get class A lesson, mining lesson, B, C. The people go mine, water for gold or diamond or iron ore, right? So you get mining lesson only for iron ore. You are not supposed to mine gold, correct?
No.
Is that what the understanding of the law is?
Yes.
So if you are mining for iron ore, what do we have in place? If it is not in place, what do you think we may need to put in place?
First,
I come in. What do we need to put in place so that if you are mining for iron ore, you are only shipping iron ore? Because if you just take the raw ore and ship it, there's likelihood there are minerals that can be in it. Is it possible? If you don't process it before shipping it.
The first thing is that fundamentally, before you go to a class A mining, there is one called exploration. The exploration, if you identify the deposit, if there are associated minerals, it will be indicated. And there is a law on the book that during your exploration, if you discover additional mineral, it will be reported to the ministry.
It left to the one that is doing the exploration. What do we have as a government to determine whether the person exploring is telling us the truth, or are we taking a word for it?
Senator, this is a major challenge you have.
That's why my question is.
Yeah, this is a major challenge.
Now I ask a question, and I'm trying to be informed. It's likely that you can take the raw ore, if it is not processed so that only ore can be shipped, other material, other minerals can be shipped.
It's possible.
So what do we have in place from your experience as a mining engineer? And if you have found that we don't have it in place, what should we do to put those systems in place so that when you come here for iron ore, you only can have iron ore if diamond was mixed or other minerals was mixed or enough for you?
Senator, this is where we need to have a robust monitoring and evaluation team on the ground. And to correct that, our intention, when confirmed, when we get it, if that system is not put in place to robustly check whether it is the mineral that you're mining, is the only one you're exporting, or additional mineral you're exporting, we need to have that robust monitoring and evaluation team. But on our law, you are not permitted to handle any mineral that you don't have license for.
Okay, Father, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Nominee, Father, and I will deliberately do this. I know you're from Lima, right?
Yes, I'm from Lima.
And I may confirm it. I will vote for you.
Thank you, sir.
I want you to remember this question I'm asking you. After a few months working by our senator, to determine your performance for the common good. I didn't hope at that time, because right now you have other. We're ready to bail you on my oversight. You shouldn't be Guillaume from him at that time.
Thank you, Senator.
All their questions
For Senator Slow, Senator Chief.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. Mr. Chairman, before I ask my question, all right. That's actually absolutely correct. You need 20. Mr. Dominic, how are you?
I'm fine, Senator.
Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman. There are 3 nominees here, but we're asking one, so all 2 will do it next another day, right?
And like for you to decide who you want to ask. Your question to.
Maybe so I got 5 of each. I got 15
Go
questions.
ahead. So first the nominee, you
So I can do my 15.
Yes.
You want 20
I got 5 of each.
Yeah, take 20.
So you have time allotted to you.
No, give 20. Give 20.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Mr. Minister Designate, how are you?
I'm fine, Senator.
We work together. I know you, respect you, and I have no doubt of your knowledge of the sector. You are being rightly placed. My concern will come from where Senator Dillon started. Do you believe that the position which you are being nominated to occupy is more a technical position and not a political position?
Yes, Senator. As per the statute that created the entity, it's a statute, it's a technical position, not political.
How much it costs to bring all the cherished flag on the
Senator, I did not bring people from Lima, they came back in the south, in solidarity.
Okay. I'll be brief for you because, like Senator Zobo said, I mean, not confirming you would be injustice because, like I said, you are already placed. But my concern would be when confirmed, all the switching you're saying, can we make sure we do the right thing? Because our resources almost becoming a curse. And a few months ago, about a month or so, I went with the Minister of Youth and Sports and talked, youth center there. And the minister took me right behind where they were doing the center, and I saw a mass field there with many activities going on. And he said to me, and I quote, Senator, most of the things you see, I saw your colleagues in religion. It's alleged that most of the illegal money, are either by legislators or facilitated by legislators. You are from here. When confirmed, if any of us involved in illegal money, will you have the willpower, the political willpower, to do what is right by stopping it? Honorable.
Honorable Senator, laws are on the book for scrupulous implementation. Our hope, when confirmed that we will be taking, will tell us to implement the law without fail.
So nominee, you are going to the ministry at a time where our natural resources seem to be doing okay. The price of gold has gone up, iron ore is performing well, and these are some of the ways we have to generate revenue for this country. You think you have at present, I'm sure you have done your own survey, you think you have the necessary law in place to implement for revenue generation befitting our resources, or you need to revisit discuss those things, but the chairman help the chairman or help us bring us up to speed. Do you think we need to do anything to enhance your work? What about acting new laws or giving you additional support? What do you think we need to do?
Senator, it's good that, more especially when it comes to revenue generation, where we see this sector as a major pillar to ensure economic growth and development and infrastructure development. We'll have the entity there, LRA, that is tasked with the responsibility for all of our taxes, compliance in this country. We'll have the Minister of Finance and Development Planning. The laws that are on the book, I haven't gone through it in totality yet. So we intend to review where there are issues. That's what I said. Our stewardship, if confirmed at the Ministry of Mines and Energy, will, in relation with the national legislature, like you, will be like a working pool, because I'm not going to wait to fall into problem or you call me before I can come at your door. I will always be at your door so that we can all jointly find solution to problem if there is any. That's how we intend to work.
What's your take on prioritizing our rail? ArcelorMittal runs a rail from Yekepa to Port of Buchanan. There are discussions to privatize it on behalf of independent rail operator. They want to operate the rail. What's your take? What's your vision for the rail?
We were nominated by the President of the Republic of Nigeria. I'm of the strongest conviction that we all may be informed that the President issued an executive order with respect to establishing an independent rail operator. We haven't gone through the document yet. It's still a discussion as soon as if we get confirmed, we're going to review the document and give our clear vision, because I don't want to be parallel with the, let's say, convention with the arrest agenda. So we'll review that, and always we'll seek advice from you. How can we make it better?
I've worked with you before, and I know your administrative skill, I know your leadership ability. Are you still the same Tingban? I would execute similar administrative and leadership skill if confirmed?
There is a saying, the same Jesus yesterday, today, and forever. The same Tingban will be yesterday, today, and forever.
On that note, I won't ask about two nominees, but if you confirm, I'm sure you will deal with them accordingly.
Okay. I want to state that you don't have a president minister with all the questions. These two guys can answer as well, because they're in that profession and they have.
Are you promoting your students?
Oh, you come, we are talking about it. We are talking about it. Hey, Minister Claire will clear them.
Okay. Again, good afternoon, nominees. Good afternoon. All right, good afternoon. I will start with a disappointment. Mr. Minister Designate, in response to a question asked by Senator Snow on the legal regime of the sector, you say you have not read all of the laws. And for me, that's a red flag, that's a disappointment. That you come to confirmation hearing and tell us that you are not co-corrupt with all of the laws in the sector. What does that say? Can you respond to that?
The intent of my statement is we intend to review the laws and make sure that we are on the right track. I don't want to.
Nominee, you will responded to a specific question, saying you have not read all of it. I'm not talking about your review tomorrow or review. That was the question. But I'll leave it there. That will play into my.
Please, Mr. Mike.
I'll leave it there, and that will play into my book. Let me come to your work as Minister of, was it Minister of Land and Mining?
Yeah.
Right. You're in the city.
You are now our chair?
No.
You said yeah, you said no.
Okay. Before we spoke to the fact that you're knowledgeable in the sector, you have experience, and knowledge should be a predictor of performance. But sometimes that's not the case. That can be the case. Sometimes. So I want you to self-evaluate yourself. Self-evaluate yourself. Each of you, please, self-evaluate yourself wherever you serve before. Self-evaluate yourself as to your performance, your integrity, and all of that. Briefly.
Briefly, at the first entry level where I went into the field, the exploration field, to have a field experience and know exactly what happened in the field. I worked in the field with a lot of mining companies and mining consultancy. And thereafter, I was attracted by the minister at the time.
Mr. Dominic, you're not giving your profile. I said self-evaluate yourself. I give you a profile. I have a profile. Self-evaluate yourself.
So, in those positions I performed, I was graded as one of them, representing Liberia, where I was.
Let's deal with mines and energy.
Okay, it's related. That's what I'm saying. It's the sea mineral sector. That's what I'm saying. So these are where I was graded, and even here where the ECOWAS honored me as one of the best, national experts to the ECOWAS sector for all minerals based on performance. And then when I served as director of mines, I was the first that initiated the establishment of mining cooperative, because we saw the land degradation with the Class C. They don't have the capacity to maximize productivity, and all of the shovel does not, given that opportunity to be economically independent as per the intent of that creation of the Class C mining sector. So I am the one that established and led that process to make sure that miners are cooperative and maximize productivity, get permit to use machinery, and then they do land reclamation.
Okay, thank you. Let's take one.
So please, briefly.
Thank you, Honorable Senator. In terms of evaluation, I think my performances over the past 20 years have led me to where I am right now.
I was not there.
Yeah, we've tried to institute change everywhere we found ourselves. For example, I have been with the University of Liberia over the past 10 years, and during my time there, I have encouraged females, right, to enter the profession. I can say that Liberia can now boast of approximately maybe 15 to 20 females with mining engineering degree. There are some who have left and have traveled out of the country that I'm mentoring currently. So everywhere I found myself, I try to bring some sense of integrity and change into the system.
Thank you. Let's for the next one so that we don't take too much.
Honorable Senator, if I must evaluate myself, I would say I have willingness to work with a strong commitment to transparency and accountability.
Well, I think that's strong enough. That's good enough for coming back to the Minister of Designate. And you were at the at the Ministry of Mines and Energy, or your then Mines and Energy, if you wanted anything to change, what do you think that should be? Now that you might be going back there, in an order of priority, why do you think those things would be?
Well, first, what I think is a good thing to do there now to bring about changes is about a robust monitoring and evaluation team must be established to ensure compliance to maximize revenue generation.
I would like for that question to work.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So similarly, we have plans to focus on in the same vein with monitoring and evaluation. Our own strong suit is that we encourage a lot of data collection. Remember once before there was an honorable senator asking here as to our resources, per county. We are hoping to bring that sort of information out, contributing to generating the necessary data that in real time can tell us, what is there, because it puts us at right now there is a global thing going around saying when you're at the table, how you negotiate. So they put us at the table to have the necessary information that relates to all of our minerals, including the critical ones, so that we can be able to come from a point of negotiating. Because, everybody say Liberia has the potential, but most times when people come here, they are coming as Liberia is a green field. So we must be able to prove that it's a brown field, and they're part of our laws that requires a brown field to be paid for. With that, we may get more on our resources that we have. So those are some of the ideas that we hope to perform.
Honorable Senator, in my capacity when confirmed as Assistant Minister for Mineral Exploration, I think first and foremost, what I would like to see done is the gathering of geoscientific data. You cannot benefit from something that you don't know about. So it is crucial that Liberia knows exactly what is her mineral potential, the quantity, quality, location, and all geological characteristics that surrounds that mineral deposit. That way we will be able to know how to negotiate with foreign investors and make it beneficiary to the Liberian people.
I thought we did that already. I thought that was in one of the president's annual.
Not everywhere. Not everywhere.
Not everywhere. Not everywhere.
Sorry?
I thought we did that already, but that was in one of the president's annual reports to the.
Well,
Chinese have done that already.
I speak in my capacity as a geoscientist.
You want to modify that?
I speak in my capacity as a geoscientist, and I can tell you we're still lacking on a lot of knowledge when it comes to what we have, the quantity of what we have, where we have it, and all.
Thank you. I think that's an honest statement. Thank you. I like honesty. Thank you. There's a conversation in the corridor, not formal, about Liberian participation in the mineral sector, especially in the form of equity share. Coming from the background that the royalty paid by the concessionaires is grossly inadequate. What's your position on that?
Again, Honorable Senator, there are laws on the book about equity participation, local county. It's local content embedded into our laws.
What does that say?
There are 5% local.
5% is negligible.
That's why on the book.
We're talking about reform now.
That's what we need review.
We're talking about reform.
That's what I'm saying. That's why we need a review. That will review it. What suits Liberia must be incorporated into the document. So the old documents are the foundation of what we can advance or what we can improve on. So once we have those fundamental documents, we can improve on it. Okay, we can be intentional about it to make sure that we make a better annual laws that will suit our conditions.
Back to my final question. Back to the empowerment of Liberians. What steps will you take to regularize or formalize artisanal and small-scale mining that Liberians are involved in the country? Okay,
there is a review process ongoing for this, to formalize the artisanal sector. Usually you see our people using shop. So how do we institute measure that they will be able to maximize productivity? Because mining is intended, the mineral is intended to change the living condition of our citizens. Right. So what we need to do is to formalize that sector because a lot of our citizens need it. And like what one of the senators just asked a question with respect to Class B people going to get rid of, the local miners. That should not interfere, because even if you have a Class B, it should not interfere with the Class C, because they are coordinated clearly demarcated. And our mineral law says that licenses should not overlap with that. So there is need for us to pay keen attention to that particular review process to formalize the sector to maximize productivity.
So you support that?
I support that.
Thank you. Mr.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. At Focus on Liberia, we discuss everything Liberia, from education to politics, arts and culture, entertainment, agriculture, history, religion, family, and technology. Focus on Liberia uncovers and showcases the best of Liberia and shows the world the truth about Liberia. We educate, elevate, and promote all things Liberia. We conduct interviews, panel discussions, debates, and more. Tune in to Focus on Liberia on Facebook and YouTube and be a part of the stories that make up the news.
This is Focus on Liberia, and I am Dennis Jack.